Yeah. Mm. It's 12:52. I got here a couple minutes ago. Yeah. And the study room was empty, so I was able to walk right in. Yeah. Now I have approximately 2 hours to really look at this insane delusion. Yeah. An irrational, persistent belief in an imaginary state of facts resulting in a lack of capacity to undertake acts of legal consequence, such as making a will. Now, this insane delusion on the part of law enforcement, yes, where it's irrational, and the persistent belief, yes, that you don't have to enforce the laws because of your imaginary state of facts, yeah, resulting in your lack of capacity to undertake acts of legal consequence. Now, this is the dissolution of marriage. Yes. I didn't actually get notice for the trial setting action. Yeah. This happened after my wife had motioned the court for a default dissolution of marriage. Now it's irrational. Oh, it's somewhat imaginary. Yeah. It's an insane delusion on the part of the court commissioner. Yeah. To not realize the contempt of courts for motioning the court for default dissolution of marriage when I responded within the 90 days. Now, obviously, we wouldn't have had all these additional court hearings in 2012 and 2013. Yes, if you had awarded the relief that the petitioner had sought at the time of requesting the default dissolution of marriage. It's an insane delusion on the part of the county court commissioner. Now, this idea of motioning the court for default dissolutions of marriage, yes, that should only be done if the petitioner is very sure that she would have been awarded the relief that was being requested. Yes. For every individual that thinks, well, I can motion the court for a default dissolution of marriage, right? Knowing that you would not actually get that unless the court had committed a delusional act, yes, of violating the laws of the United States of America. Now let's look at the default dissolutions of marriage for just a moment. Because I'm getting the documents out. Okay. When should you motion a court for a default dissolution of marriage? When you are sure that the respondent did not respond within the time that the law allows. Yes. To motion the court for a default dissolution of marriage when you know that I did respond. Yeah. Is an actual crime. Now, this is the motion for default on 8/27 of 2012. Yeah. How many courts allow for the petitioner for dissolution of marriage to arbitrarily motion the court for default dissolution of marriage where the court had said no, the respondent did respond within the amount of time that the court allows for? Now, you would have thought an insane delusion on the part of the court commissioner, yes, to not immediately, yes, remove all the court documents because you do not motion for a default dissolution of marriage when you know, okay, that Paul Budnick, yes, the named respondent, yes, responded to the petition of dissolution on 8/24 2012. Yeah. You don't just decide that you're going to motion for default dissolution of marriage when you did receive the response because I did document. Yeah. See, the petitioner motioned the court, yes, on May 24th of 2012, yes, A petition for dissolution of marriage. Right. I was given 90 days to take the children in the middle class, yes, and respond within the 90 days, not inclusive of the day of service, yes. Now, the 90 days should not have had a court hearing. Yeah. You shouldn't have gone in there on the 27th of August. Now, I realize that there's some domestic violence involved here. Yes. Where Commissioner W. Brent Baisden, yes, decided that we would continue with the dissolution of marriage, knowing that the denial of the motion for default dissolution of marriage was because, yes, I, as the respondent, I had responded within 90 days. Yes. Now, this was back in 2012. What year are we in? 2019. Now, when the petitioner petitioned the court for dissolution of marriage, you had me arrested at the same moment as serving me. An insane delusion on the part of the court. Irrational, persistent belief in your imaginary, yes, state of facts. Facts. Yes. The actual facts are, yes, that the petitioner motioned the court for dissolution of marriage after having already decided that she would contact police and have me arrested at the same moment as serving me. Yes. So as to cause me to look like I was a crazy husband. Now, I did respond within the 90 days. I provided approximately 50 pages of documentation, 5 written pages, single spaced, yes, that I didn't want a dissolution of marriage. Then I did within the amount of time required by law because of the 5 minors named, yes, did take the children in the middle class, yes, at Healthy Families of Clallam County. Oh. Now, when you think about the crime, yes, of allowing a petitioner to motion a court for default dissolution of marriage, yeah. When you as a court have said, yes, the respondent did respond within the 90 days, and then you decided, right, to continue to have court hearings, yes, where you never required me to have notice right now. Now I'm telling you, I'm going to have put in prison all of those that think that it's A-OK for any petitioner to be told by the court commissioner that your motioning for default dissolution of marriage is not criminal when it is. Now, it calls into credibility the actual petitioner, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Now, when we think of domestic violence, let's go back to the possibilities. Okay. You're sitting there